Welcome to Royal Math Podcast. Today, Lesson 18-2, Lateral and Total Surface Area of Prisms. So a lateral face of a solid is a face that is not a base. Prisms are made up of faces and bases. A right prism is a prism in which the bases are directly above each other, making the faces perpendicular to the bases, in other words, at a 90-degree angle. The lateral area of a solid is the sum of the areas of the lateral faces. So in other words, the area of the prism without the bases. And then the surface area of the prism is the sum of the area of the lateral faces and the area of the bases, or as we like to say, it's the area of the faces and bases. So let's go ahead and take a look at a prism. Here we have a triangular prism. All right, triangular prism, and it's a prism that's named after the shape of its base. So as you can see, we have a triangle right here and a triangle at the other end. And on the net right here, we have a triangle on the left side and a triangle on the right side with the faces in between. Remember, a prism has two bases, okay, and the shape of that base determines the name of the prism. And also, it has the same number of faces as the number of sides of a base. So a triangle has three sides, so we know that a triangular prism is going to have three faces. Here we have, of course, a triangular prism, so we should have two bases at either end that are triangles, and because the triangle has three sides, we will have three faces or three middle sections on the net. So let's find the lateral area and the surface area. Starting with the lateral area, there's two ways to find it. Either use a one-step formula, or you can use the net to find the area of each face and then add them together. So let's examine both methods, starting with the net first. So as you can see, I already have the triangle measurements listed on my net: 10, 9, and 8. Notice that the 9 and the 8 come together at the right angle, so that helps us in the placement of it. Now, if we look directly at the face that's in the middle, right next to the 9, we know that those are also a length of 9. All right, now if we look at the face that's on top, we'll notice that when that folds, it will go directly over the 10. So we know this measurement is 10. All right, and then at the bottom, if we were to fold the bottom face up to touch the base, we would notice that the bottom base would come in contact with the side of the triangle that is 8. So we know that that is 8. Now the distance in between the two bases is the height, in which we can notice right here is the distance between the two bases, 5. So 5 is going to be our measurement for the height. All right, so now we have all of our information. So now let's go ahead and work out each face of the net. We know that area equals length times width for rectangles, and that's what all of our faces are. So 5 times 10 is 50. 9 times 5 is 45. And 8 times 5 is 40. So we take those three measurements, those three dimensions, 50, 45, and 40, and we get 135, and of course that is centimeters squared for our lateral area. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's do it through the formula, and the formula to find the lateral area is lateral area equals perimeter of the base times the height. So what we need to do is we need to add up the three sides of the triangle: 10, 9, and 8. 10 plus 9 is 17. Or I'm sorry, 10 plus 9 is 19. Plus 8 is 27. So we know the perimeter is 27. And once again, the distance between the two bases is 5. So that is the height. So 27 times 5. When we do 27 times 5, we end up with 135 centimeters squared. So you can see one method is a lot faster and a lot easier. The difference is the formula for the one-step formula for finding the lateral area is not listed on the star chart. So if you're taking a test and you can't remember that formula, realize you can simply fill out the net and use it to find the area of each one of those faces and the base. So we know lateral area is 135 centimeters squared. So now what we need to do is we need to find the surface area. And the surface area equals lateral area plus the bases. And there's two bases, so the base times 2. All right, so now let's figure out what the base is. We see here that we have a triangle, so we need to write the formula area equals 1/2 base times height. Now notice I put a little bit of space in between each one of the variables in the formula. That way when I fill in the information below it, they'll still fall right underneath their measurements. So we know that the base is 8, the height is 9, and we bring down the 1/2 because we haven't used it yet. Now remember, when you get to multiply in any order you wish. So if you decide to multiply by 1/2, which is the same as multiplying by 0.5 or dividing by 2, always try to use a number that's even. That way you're not making your work harder and creating a decimal. So I know that 1/2 of 8 is 4, and now I have 4 times 9, and 4 times 9, of course, is 36. So 36 centimeters squared. Now remember, that's for each triangle, each base. So 36 plus 36, or 36 times 2, is 72. So now I'm going to take 72, and I'm going to add it to 135. And when I do that, 135 plus 72 is 207. So my surface area equals 207 centimeters squared. Remember, whenever you're dealing with area, it's going to be unit of measure squared. All right? All right. Well, thank you for watching Royal Math Podcast. You have yourself a good day, and see you round like a donut.